Hello, once again. My name is Ibrahim Mohammed Umar from Entrepreneurship Development Center, Nasarawa State University. And today we'll be talking about innovation and how innovation affects enterprises or businesses, or better still, how innovation alters the general operation of every business. Innovation, they say, is pivotal. Innovation, they say, is key for any business or enterprise to survive. Such business or enterprise must, I say must as in capital MUST, embrace innovation. Because if you don't innovate, it will be difficult for you to have a competitive edge over people or over your competitors in your chosen industry. As such, innovation is actually key for the survival and growth of every business or enterprise, as you prefer to call it. So now, what is innovation? But before we talk about innovation, it's important for us to clear a kind of misconception. And what's this misconception? You see, a lot of people tend to see innovation and creativity to mean the same thing. Yes, a lot of people think it's actually the same thing. But to a very, very large extent, there are some key attributes that differentiate innovation from creativity. You see, when we talk about creativity, all creativities are products of a mental mindset. Creativity is a mental thing. You're thinking. And while you're thinking of how to actually bring out something new. I will talk about something new. That's another topic to discuss entirely, because in the world we're living in today, it's actually very, very difficult to think of something entirely new, as in a new thing in its entirety. It's actually very, very difficult. So the new thing we're talking about here is like an alteration or a disruption of an existing thing in order to make it more attractive or to make it more valuable. And that's the new, that is the context we're referring to new in this subject matter. So great. You see, when we talk about creativity is an innovation. But this is that kind of innovation that only exists in the mental phase. In the mental phase, PHASE, in the mental phase of it. But when it grows or when it transits from the mental phase to practical, to what we can see or what we can feel, it now ceases to be called innovation and creativity. It now becomes an innovation. So we may not be wrong to say that all innovation are creativities, but not all creativities are innovation. Or better still, we can simply say that all innovation is a product of creativity, because innovation actually started from creativity. So great. If we understand that now, so now what is innovation? You see, innovation simply means an alteration or a disruption of a process or a product. And why are you doing that? In order to add value, in order to have edge, competitive edge in your chosen industry. So great. So innovation basically is vast. It's vast because when we talk about innovation, we have different types of innovations. And we'll talk about the various types of innovation. We'll begin to talk about things like product innovation, process innovation, market innovation, even marketing innovation itself. These are all various forms of innovation. But all these forms of innovation must be categorized into two phases as well. They can either be incremental innovation or drastic innovation. Yes, when we talk about incremental innovation, these are the kind of innovation that you bring in gradually. You try to implement gradually, and which is most recommended. But when we talk about drastic innovation, it comes like a big bang, boom, an entirely new thing. It's actually very, very risky. So quickly, let me go to the various forms of innovation. Talk about product innovation. This is an alteration, a disruption of a product to make it more attractive, more valuable, so that people will prefer that product to other close substitutes in the same market. As simple as that. What of production innovation? Production innovation can also be said to be called a process innovation. This is a kind of disruption or an alteration that only happens during the production phase of a product, not the finishing product itself. Like for instance, you might choose to introduce something that it's actually new into the components that you require for your production, thereby making your product more valuable. Then we'll talk about market innovation. We'll talk about market innovation. It's the identification of a new market. It's a disruptive process as well, because you are leaving the conventional market that you choose to operate to identify a market so that you will be the market leader. Like you hear when we talk about the blue ocean model, where you leave a saturated market with lots of competitors to go to a less saturated market where you can operate willingly, freely, and most likely become the market leader, or you own most part of the market share. So, what of marketing innovation? There's a difference between a market and marketing. Yes, market can be the meeting point between buyers and sellers that can either be physical or virtual. When we talk about marketing, marketing is a process of identifying the needs and wants of customers and working out modalities to satisfy the needs and wants of these customers, thereby earning profits. Great. So now, if we talk about marketing innovation, these are new methods, new strategies that you can promote and publicize your product for customers to patronize. And I think there's a great disruption that is not too far from the drastic disruption in marketing right now, where we talk about social media marketing. Not social media marketing, because social media marketing is just a branch of the digital marketing. We have digital marketing that comprises of social media marketing, that talks about search engine optimization, that covers even email marketing, that covers so many things as far as the digital phase is concerned. We'll talk about social media marketing. It's a branch of the digital marketing that captures the various social media platforms and how it's being used to market products. So please, today we'll be stopping here. In my next episode, I'll be talking about the same forms of innovation with practical examples to aid our understanding of the subject matter. So don't forget, my name is Ibrahim Mohammed Umar from Entrepreneurship Development Center, Nasarawa State University. Don't forget to subscribe.